Imagine every living thing has a secret instruction book inside: DNA. DNA is a long, spiraling molecule that holds all the information to build and run your body. It decides your eye color, height, and even how you digest food. Most of the time, your cells copy this DNA perfectly, like retyping an encyclopedia without mistakes. But sometimes, a tiny error, a mutation, slips through. These mutations can be harmless, but if they affect an important gene, they can cause a genetic disorder. It's not anyone's fault, just part of life's complex process. A genetic disorder is a health condition caused by a change or mutation in your DNA. Think of your DNA as a massive instruction manual for building and running your body. Sometimes a single letter in this manual gets swapped, deleted, or added, a tiny typo that can have big consequences. Genes direct the production of proteins, the tiny machines that keep your body running. These proteins are responsible for everything from building tissues to fighting off infections, and even carrying oxygen in your blood. If a mutation changes a protein, it can't do its job, leading to problems. Sometimes the protein is made incorrectly, or not at all, which can disrupt important processes in the body and cause symptoms of disease. Some mutations are inherited from parents, passed down through generations, while others happen spontaneously, called de novo mutations. These new mutations can occur when DNA is copied, even before a child is born. The effects can be mild or severe, depending on which gene is affected and how important that gene is for your health. Some people may not even notice any symptoms, while others may need lifelong medical care. For example, a pigment gene mutation can cause albinism, leading to very light skin and hair. A blood clotting gene mutation can cause a bleeding disorder like hemophilia, making it hard for blood to clot after an injury. Genetic disorders are part of human diversity, not a flaw. They remind us that variation is natural, and every person's DNA tells a unique story. Understanding the science helps us replace fear with compassion and effective care. By learning more about genetics, we can support those affected and work towards better treatments. Science lets us read the code, understand the changes, and help people live full lives. Advances in genetic research are opening new doors for diagnosis, therapy, and hope. A typo in DNA is just one variation in the story of being human, a reminder that our differences are what make us extraordinary. Genetic disorders fall into three main categories, each with its own unique causes and effects on the body. These categories help scientists and doctors understand how our genes can sometimes go awry, leading to a wide range of health conditions. First, there are chromosomal disorders. These involve problems with entire chromosomes or large sections of them. A well-known example is Down syndrome, which happens when a person has an extra copy of chromosome 21. This extra genetic material changes how the body and brain develop. Second, we have single gene disorders. These are caused by mutations in just one gene, but the effects can be dramatic. Conditions like cystic fibrosis or hemophilia are the result of a single faulty gene, showing how powerful even a small change in our DNA can be. Even a tiny typo in one gene, a single letter out of place, can have a big impact on a person's health, sometimes affecting entire body systems. Third, there are multifactorial disorders. These are caused by a combination of gene variations and environmental factors, like diet, stress, or exposure to toxins. It's not just your DNA, but also your surroundings and lifestyle that play a role. Think of it like baking a cake. Your genes are the recipe, but your environment is the oven. Both need to work together for the final result. Heart disease and type 2 diabetes are common examples of multifactorial disorders, where both inherited genes and lifestyle choices matter. Chromosomal disorders can affect hundreds or even thousands of genes at once, leading to complex symptoms and challenges. Single gene disorders are more specific, often running in families and passed down from one generation to the next. Multifactorial disorders are especially complex, involving a web of genetic and lifestyle factors that interact in unpredictable ways. Each type of genetic glitch requires a different approach to diagnosis, management, and care, making personalized treatment essential. Understanding these categories helps doctors pinpoint the root causes of disease and create more effective treatment plans for each patient. It's the first step toward truly personalized medicine, where care is tailored to your unique genetic makeup and life circumstances. Every human being is a unique blend of genetic material passed down through generations. We inherit one set of chromosomes from each parent, giving us two copies of most genes, one from our mother and one from our father. This genetic combination is what makes each of us distinct, yet also connects us to our family tree. The way these gene copies interact, sometimes working together, sometimes competing, determines whether a particular trait or disorder will appear. Some traits are obvious, like eye color, while others, such as genetic disorders, may be hidden until passed on. For example, autosomal dominant disorders require just one mutated gene to cause the condition. Huntington's disease is a classic case. If you inherit the faulty gene from either parent, you will develop the disorder. If a parent carries this dominant gene, each child has a 50% chance of inheriting it, regardless of gender. This pattern can be seen moving through generations in a family tree. In contrast, autosomal recessive disorders, like cystic fibrosis, require two mutated copies, one from each parent, for the condition to appear. If only one copy is present, the person is a carrier. Carriers usually show no symptoms, but when two carriers have a child, there's a 25% chance the child will inherit both mutated genes and be affected. This is why family history is so important in understanding risk. Some disorders are linked to the X chromosome, known as X-linked inheritance. These genes behave differently because males and females have different numbers of X chromosomes. Males with only one X chromosome are more likely to be affected if they inherit a mutation, such as in hemophilia or Duchenne muscular dystrophy. A single faulty gene is enough to cause the disorder. Females, on the other hand, have two X chromosomes. They would need mutations on both to be affected, which is much rarer. Often, females are carriers and may pass the gene to their children. By understanding these inheritance patterns, geneticists can trace how conditions move through families, identifying who might be at risk. Studying family trees and genetic information allows experts to predict risks, offer guidance, and help families make informed health decisions for the future. In this way, family history becomes a scientific map, revealing patterns and possibilities hidden in our DNA. Understanding how we inherit traits empowers families to make choices about health, plan for the future, and support one another. Our DNA is more than just a code. It's a living link to our past and a powerful force shaping our future. When a genetic disorder is suspected, doctors start with a family history, drawing a family tree to spot patterns. Next comes genetic testing, analyzing blood, saliva, or tissue for DNA changes. Chromosome analysis checks for big changes, like extra or missing pieces. Single gene tests look for specific mutations, such as those causing cystic fibrosis. DNA sequencing can read the entire genetic code, helping diagnose rare or complex conditions. Newborn screening tests every baby for treatable genetic disorders soon after birth. Early diagnosis means early treatment, often preventing serious health problems. These tools help doctors find answers quickly and accurately. Science gives families a head start on health. The goal? Catch problems early and give every child the best chance to thrive. There's no one-size-fits-all cure for genetic disorders, but many treatments can manage symptoms and improve life. Some people take medications to replace missing proteins, like clotting factors for hemophilia. Others follow special diets, as with PKU, or use daily therapies, like those with cystic fibrosis. Physical and speech therapies help build skills and independence. Gene therapy, replacing faulty genes with healthy ones, is a new and promising frontier. Managing a genetic disorder is a team effort, involving doctors, counselors, and families. With the right support, people with genetic disorders can lead full, active lives. Hearing genetic disorder can be scary, but today's story is one of hope and progress. Scientists are making breakthroughs in understanding DNA and designing new treatments. Research leads to better diagnoses, targeted medicines, and even gene therapies once thought impossible. Society is becoming more inclusive, with support networks connecting families and sharing knowledge. A genetic disorder is just one part of a person's life, not the whole story. Early diagnosis, research, and community support make the future brighter than ever. Science helps us overcome challenges and live healthy, fulfilling lives. Our DNA may guide us, but it doesn't define us.